Welcome to the Art of Dress. Today I want to share with you some of the mysteries of color. In particular, what is the impact of style on coloring? So thank you so much for coming and thank you for subscribing. The color that we're working with today is Plum. And here you see Fei Fei Sun, and she is a beautiful Chinese model, and she is wearing a plummy kind of pink that's actually in between plum and fuchsia. It's not really what she's wearing, but it's the background color, and you can see it's so beautiful for her. So how do we get to that color? How does this happen? So this is what I want to show you. And the first thing we're going to look at to get there is the color wheel for Plum. So here is the Plum color wheel. You can see Plum is on the right hand side. And because this is a true classic wheel, the Plum is also the style color, which is on the left hand side, just towards the bottom there. So Plum is worn twice. So already anyone who is true classic has a large range in their coloring, in the colors that they wear of their prime color, because it becomes the style color as well. But there's still the impact of style, and there's still the impact of artistry. But style is a big one, and let me show you this to start with. So on this wheel, what you see, this is a yin-yang wheel. It's been rotated 1 degree to the right, and what you see is this line running down the center. And on the right-hand side of that line are all the refined styles, and also there is True Gammon and also True Classic Omega. And all of those styles wear colors that are, they can wear their standard colors, but they also wear more intense versions. And True Classic Omega is the style of Fei Fei Sun, so her colors will be more intense. And on the left-hand side of this line are all the styles that wear lighter versions, and that is all of the elaborate styles. And in addition, True Dramatic, True Natural, and True Classic Alpha. Leah is True Classic Alpha. So here we have the two different kinds of True Classics. One wears more intense and one wears lighter. Leah goes lighter. Now, there's something else that's happening really obviously with the colors today, and to understand that, you have to go back to the basic color wheel. So this is a version of the element color wheel, or the prime color wheel. In this case, the prime colors are on the outside, the neutrals are on the inside, and those are the two colors we're working with today, the neutral for Plum and Plum itself. Now, one thing that I can show you on this wheel that you will need to understand for today, and that is, if you take a look at Plum and you say, I want to see a warmer version of Plum, you're going to take the Plum and move it towards burgundy. And if you take Plum and you say, I want to go with a cooler version, you're going to take Plum and move it towards grape. And that's because grape is towards the blue, so cooler, and burgundy is towards the warm, red. So this is how you can understand or tell what happens to your color if it goes warmer towards the red or cooler towards the blue on the wheel. Now, another thing that is going to happen is that there's also clarity and muting coming. And the wheel is not going to help you with that, but just understand that muting is always a shadow, and clarity is always like the absence of any shadow, a more clear version. So we're going to start with Leah. So the first thing you notice about this color is that it is a very cool version of Plum. Some people would go so far as to say that it is actually a purple. So these colors are very fluid, and if you put this next to purple, it's going to grape, it's going to look more plummy, but it is obviously a very cool version, and it's amazing on her. And that is because composite artistry has the effect of always cool and always muted. So this is a really pretty color for her. It might be the most becoming color I've ever seen her wear. So cute. But anyway, this is her version of Plum that is obvious here. Now, she also goes more muted, but when you're wearing earth colors, that's not always easy to see. But you can tell that it's pretty muted because it doesn't give you that gemstone idea as much. So now let's go to Fei Fei. So this is such a beautiful picture. And this version of Plum is actually heading towards Fuchsia. So why is that happening? Because it's a plummy kind of fuchsia. It's not a true fuchsia. And that is because of her being not only true classic omega, but also harmonic. So the true classic omega influence is that it's an intense color. She doesn't lighten up at all. You compare this to the prime color of Plum, you will see that this is on the intense side. But the second thing that's happening is because she is harmonic, she goes warm in her cool colors. Plum is a cool color. So warm means towards burgundy. And because she is harmonic, she also has the influence of being more clear in her element colors, an element color as opposed to an alternate or lighter color for her. So her element color, her prime color, of course, Plum is an element color, and it becomes not only more intense, not only more warm, but also more clear. And that is why when you frequently see her, she's wearing a color that is in between Plum and Fuchsia. As you see here, this is an Estee Lauder ad, so you can imagine that they really wanted her skin to look its best. Of course, it looks fantastic, but the reason is because of wearing this. This is her version, you could say, of her prime color. Now let's go on to the neutrals. So here you have Leah, and what she's wearing is a muted version of navy because she's composite. It's a light version of navy because she's true classic alpha. And very still, so look at her skin, it's amazing. And now here we have Fei Fei, and so more intense because she's true classic omega. And you don't so much notice that it's a little bit it's just a little bit clearer, especially compared to Leah's version of navy, and definitely more intense. So really, really interesting to see how the style impacts the coloring, lighter or more intense, darker, but also you cannot separate artistry. Artistry gets in there all the time, and you can see it's actually amazing when you know what to do with your colors and how to find your versions of your colors. So thank you for coming and sharing this with me today. I look forward next time we're going to look at grape, our last of the earth colors. And again, thank you for coming and subscribing. And don't forget, I post on my website every single week, not just Discover. I post a Discover article, but I also post a Learn article. Learn that's specific to your style, artistry, and coloring. So see you next week, and please take care.